But in terms of the conversation for today, initially it was going to be about private prisons, but Jonathan is in, he's in that field. He wants to talk about this, so we're going to wait on him before we have that conversation. But I think a little bit more interesting conversation. I'm going to start it off with this because this is not something we've done before. I'm going to play a video. And then this is going to go into the bigger conversation. So right here, hopefully, if it's laggy, then I do apologize on the stream or in the video, but at least you should be able to hear it. But so here's a video of Sneako meeting some of his fans. Paul, have you seen this?
No, I have not. I'm kind of curious.
Okay. All right. So let me zoom in. Let's watch.
What did you say? Fuck the woman! Fuck the woman!
What? No, wait.
Sneako.
We love women. We love women.
But not like transgenders.
Yes, sir. We love everybody.
Okay.
No.
The
Okay.
lag is pretty terrible for me. I can't understand it.
You said it's lagging for you? This is what I'll do for you.
Yeah.
This is what I'll do for you. I will put the thing for you can watch it on your own, but I'll continue playing it on this end. So I put the link in the
For sure.
What have I done?
Can I get in the video? Fucking talk. Can I get in the video?
Yeah. Talk to him.
Yo, what's up?
So that's the video. If y'all could, I'll see the run back when I like edit everything to see if everything's on the up and up. If it's not, then I'll just like edit it and put the video in there and do some editing to make it all work out.
Yeah.
But Paul, did you look at the video real quick?
Yeah. It's pretty pretty predictable, and it's exactly how you think it would be, right? Like Sneako's just like a thug, dude. Like he's just like he like promotes this crap all the time, and he's like, these poor young kids are doing it. Like that kid coming up and saying, like, yo, like, fuck the women and stuff like that. It's lame, right? I don't know. How do you feel?
So this begs the bigger question for me, because I've brought it up before, but the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a potential problem moving forward, and that is that these individuals are gaining so much influence, and it's not like they're getting influence based off doing something inherently hard or challenging, like playing a sport and practicing all day. No, sometimes it's a luck thing. Now there is hard work to it, posting consistently, but there's no guide on how you're supposed to be doing things. It's just, hey, if you create something that is entertaining, you might get famous from it and do whatever you want after that. So there's really no checks and balances. It's either you make it or you don't, basically. Before I dive into that, someone said, what are your thoughts on the ongoing battle of the Katanga Valley? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, it's my dumbass friend who said he wanted to watch it. Yeah, it's a joke that makes fun of veterans who didn't go into combat, talking about combat the entire time. Yeah, so you just make up a location. Yeah,
That's crazy, bro. Not gonna lie, because I was in the military, but I never went in combat. But I never like talk about combat like that. I was like, bro, you just gotta be honest. It's very cringe to kind of
yeah,
uplift yourself like that. You gotta be humble. You gotta be humble.
for sure.
But in terms of the conversation at hand, it's very troubling. It's very worrying because of they have this no kind of limit to what they do. There seem to be in certain spaces a general understanding of how you should act, but I think as we go on, we are moving farther and farther from a norm of proper responsible actions, because just in the tweet that you saw, one of the things that Mike Mayak said, I think that's how you say his name, is that I don't blame Sneako. And one thing that I hear from like content creators is I'm not a role model. It's not my responsibility. And it really begs the question. It really kind of tells you a story that they feel like they can gain all the popularity, they can gain all the clout, they can gain all the influence from the same kids that Sneako just did, do whatever they want in reference to it, but take no responsibility based off what their viewers do. And it seems incredibly irresponsible, but it just seems like it's gonna keep on happening over and over again. And obviously, we could talk about that more. I'm not sure. I think there needs to be a real self reflection on how we're going about this, especially as influence grows.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think people that allege these media types don't have any sort of like string that they pull on their listenership or their viewership. It's pretty ludicrous, right? Like, there are people that strongly admire them, and you can just read the comment section to kind of see it for yourself, where they like go on and on about how this person saved them from suicide or depression, right?
Yeah.
Or how like it brought them closer to God, how like it recently helped them throughout their divorce, right? So like to state that, oh, like I shouldn't be a role model. Well, the unfortunate reality is that your entire channel is giving advice, right? It's making, like truth claims about the world. And now you have to defend that reality and also accept the consequence of it, right? If you cannot accept the consequence of what you are purporting out there, right, then why are you saying it in the first place, right? The dollar value is going to still catch up to you mentally eventually. Just look at the way Sneako looks at the kids in the video, right? He's awestruck, right? Like he's like, dude, what the fuck have I done, right? But you and I both know he's just going to go straight back home and enjoy that paycheck he's been getting from YouTube the entire time afterwards. But still, you still see that glimpse of moment where he realizes, I am that role model. I am that person that influences these children's lives, and I should do better.
And the crazy part is, because like you just said, I saw a video, I think it was Apple and Preach, and they kind of were talking about it a little bit. And apparently, right after, Sneako went online and said, "Don't blame me, blame the parents who okay the pride flags, okay all that stuff." And it's just another way to escape from your responsibility, because I do think there is something to be said that parents should have a stricter, not control, but at the very least a more be more aware of what their children are consuming in terms of media or social media. And I've always said that just putting a tablet or putting a phone in front of a kid and just letting them do whatever they want is not the right way to go about that, because of how much they are consuming and how much they are kind of learning, even though it's not supposed to be something that you learn from. But that's how it works. When you consume information, you learn from it and you get shaped by it to a certain extent. So there's something to be said there, but at the same time, it's a two-way street, because the person is still creating the content. It would be foolish. It would be foolish if we went over to the people who do some of the most craziest things on the dark web, for example, and go like, "Oh man, those people in the dark web, they're not at fault because the person who's watching it shouldn't be watching it." We recognize that that person's idiotic for finding a torrent and going out of his way to go on the dark web. But at the same time, we recognize how reprehensible the individuals that is on the dark web are, doing some of the most ludicrous and most inhumane things on that side of the internet. And there's a bigger conversation we're gonna have for this, because we've talked about it, and I'm sure I'm gonna, one of these days I'm gonna try to have a decently big content creator on, so we really can diagnose individual responsibility for content creators. But the bigger conversation kind of extends beyond Sneako too. If you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, make sure you go on Roku TV and watch it on the Planet X network, where you can watch the full video version for the podcast. Again, go to Planet X Network on Roku.tv to watch the full version. I hope you do enjoy. Of course, you can still listen to the full audio version on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other podcast platform you listen to podcasts.